Hi, welcome to World Silver Gods YouTube channel. In this video, I want to discuss some of the pros and cons, some of the most common ones that I've heard of in investing in world silver coinage. And this is going to be one of the longer videos, and I just want to take the time to kind of dissect some of the arguments out there. And again, I'm not pitching anything. I'm not trying to force my opinion on there, but I'm just going to provide my opinions to some of the most prevalent arguments I've heard as to why you know it's not the best idea to invest in world silver, and I'm going to provide my rebuttal. And I welcome any constructive opinions regarding my views. And by the way, in all my videos, I'm not the best speaker, both in public and alone. I write down like my talking points, so in case you hear any papers rustling, or if I'm not making direct eye contact with the camera, I'm just kind of getting my reestablishing my point on the script here. But the first thing I want to talk about is probably the biggest con I've heard to investing in world silver coinage is that it's so vast and so varied in purity and recognizability that most people are turned off. You know, how much silver is in a 1945 Great Britain shilling? How much silver is in a Austrian Maria Theresa silver restrike? How many grams? How much per ounce? And you see a lot of arguments that people are reluctant to deal in big lots of foreign silver, world silver, because there isn't a standard fineness. One coin may be sterling, the next coin may be 50% fineness, the next coin may be 80% fine. And that's con one that I've heard, is that people don't want to mess with it because it's just too varied. That is actually your biggest strength if you're a world silver coin investor, because that's your whole argument when it comes to buying silver under spot. That's how you get silver under spot. That's your trump card. You are counting on there being little interest in groups of world silver coins out there so that you can get it cheaply if you know what you're getting and you're familiar with each coin in the lot as best you can. So my rebuttal to that it's too varied and it's just too many different variables, is that you have to do your homework. Okay, you have to learn what coins out there and which coins and denominations are in fact silver, as well as their fineness. But as I'll mention in this YouTube channel, there are only about 10 or so countries that you really have to worry about, because a lot of countries, while almost every country on earth issued silver coinage, not many issued them in significant amounts to be investable, and you can actually get significant amounts to invest in. So you're only going to really have to, if you're a beginning to intermediate world silver coin investor, you're only going to have to worry about 10 to 12, possibly 13 countries, off the top. If you're really passionate, you can know as many countries as there are out there. But just a good rule of thumb to be well positioned for most things that you're going to encounter, you're only going to have to worry about those countries. So we'll discuss each country in depth and at length, as well as which coins to look for. But the first argument is that it's just too varied, is just learn your stuff. If you're pro silver and if you're a silver bug and you're believing in the fundamentals for silver, don't you owe it to yourself to know as much as you can about silver rather than just 999 bullion? I think that you should learn everything you can about silver if you're willing to place significant amounts of money into it. Probably the second most prevalent argument against foreign silver that I've experienced is that a lot of people will tell you that dealers and refiners pay poor rates on foreign silver. And if you have a big pile of just foreign silver, they'll probably charge a low rate for the refinement on it, just to compensate for the varied fineness. Okay. Now, again, this is sort of in continuation of the first argument, is that people don't like to mess with a lot of different finenesses, and again, you can remedy that by doing your homework. Again, categorize your coins. Know which coins are which. Don't just put them into a big pile. You want to know your product. This is probably an instance where it's best not to play stupid. You want to make sure that you you tell, again, if we're dealing only with a refiner, okay, the argument is that refiners won't pay very well on foreign silver. So if you're dealing with a refiner, you want to know your stuff. You want to state what finenesses are what. And again, if like any silver coinage, even if it's sterling or 999, the more you have, the better the rate you'll get. So yes, even if you have a silver dollar, if you just put 10 of them in a to a refiner, you're not going to get the best rate. But if you have thousands of them, you're going to get a better rate, as is the case with gold, as is the case with platinum, palladium, scrap gold, of all finenesses. The more is better. So the argument could be that you're not going to get a great because you don't really have a lot of foreign silver. But if you're serious about investing in foreign silver and you want to get significant amounts and it's all categorized, then I'm confident you could negotiate, very close to melt deals. Refiners are going to give you top dollar no matter what. But if the argument is that you're going to get way below spot, I'm confident you can up your returns significantly by knowing what coins are and categorizing them according to their fineness and stating your case and knowing your stuff. Knowledge is power. Personally, I can throw an example. I know several refiners, and I built up a rapport with them over the years, and they're happy to provide me very good prices on all world silver coinages that I send them, either cull or about AU. So there's that. And probably the third biggest negative argument I've heard against investing in world silver coinage is that it'll be useless in a hyperinflationary scenario, that only 999 bullion or 90% US coinage will be usable because nothing else will be received. And this is probably the most irritating argument that I find. My counter to that is severalfold. If you're dabbling in investing in silver coinage in general, or silver bullion in general, you've probably seen videos where somebody will go on a street corner and they'll have a gold eagle or a silver eagle and they'll show it to people and they won't even know what they're looking at, and they'll try to sell it for $1 and nobody will buy it. And that right there kind of says it all. If people don't even know what an American silver eagle is, how can you say for certain that that's going to be the only thing that's accepted in a hyperinflationary scenario? Nobody knows. Mad Max doesn't have rules. My personal opinion is I do not think that if there ever was an inflationary collapse, which I don't think will happen personally, but assuming there is a hyperinflationary collapse, I don't think that people are going to say, oh, your coin is 999, fine, I'll take that, everything else is crap. I just don't see that occurring. And another point is that most silver bugs, with myself included, are watching this because they think the value of silver is going to go up in dollars. So, if you're thinking that silver is going to hit $60, $70, $80 an ounce, again, anybody isn't going to turn away, oh, it's not, $999 fine, I'm not going to even deal with it. When you're at those prices, anything and everything will be valuable and will be actively sought after, because there's only so much of each specific amount out there. So, I mean, if you're dealing with those price levels, there's no way that people are going to dismiss even the smallest amounts of silver that are available out there. And that's when your investment philosophy comes into play, because then you'll have more ounces than maybe the next guy. You'll have 2 ounces where a person would have 1, silver American Eagle. But that's also why it pays to have your stash categorized, your world silver coinage arranged by purity and amount and fineness. Those are probably the 3 biggest ones that I've heard out there. There's some other ones that, if you have this certain coin, it can be confiscated by the government, or it can be taken away. I don't really subscribe to those too much in any silver coinage or gold coinage that it'll be it's property of the government, it can be taken away. Theoretically, I guess, but I don't really see that happening. I don't really factor that into my investment decisions. So yeah, basically, I mean, those are probably the biggest ones, those big three, and then I guess the confiscation theory. Um, and each one of them, you can really dissect it. If you pick it apart, you can kind of negate all the bad arguments, and if you just do your homework, it's all on you. You're in charge of your own silver investing, and if you know what you're buying and you're familiar with your material, then that's all that you really need to do to get your best price. So you're kind of a you hold the trump cards if you know what you're doing and you know what to look for, whereas a lot of people aren't willing to take the time and they just go for the easy stuff. So that's kind of what this channel is. The motto of this channel. Our two bad words are overspot and premium. So we try to avoid those words at all costs, even in gold, which we're going to do another video channel on world gold and all the different advantages and things to look out for in that realm. So that's pretty much my stance on different pros and cons of investing in world silver, and I'm just going to keep on rocking. So please comment below if you agree or disagree, and look forward to seeing you in the next videos. Thanks a lot.